y'all, I'm Jenna.
I'm Derek.
We're the Flip Flop Barnyard. This is our small family homestead where we raise our own pastured meats, pastured dairy, and organic heirloom garden. We also have 8 kids.
Yep, so y'all come along with us and please subscribe to our channel and like all of our videos.
Hey y'all. So things kind of have taken a turn. We've been super busy getting ready for our camping trip. Derek's been wrapping up all of his mowing. He's got a lot going on with that so that we can go on our camping trip, and we've been working on the camper non-stop, and it's close to being done. It's not quite finished. But then the storm came up. They're having mandatory evacuations on the coast. They're having mandatory evacuations on the coast. Hey y'all.
Hey.
We have not had time to do an update in a while.
No.
Since we got displaced by the hurricane. Life has been crazy. It's been a month today. Actually, it's hard to believe. Out of the month, we spent over 3 weeks in a 20-foot camper, which most of you know that. And
I was watching it here, so I knew it was time.
You knew it was coming.
Nice try.
You knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming. Hey, everybody. Oh, sorry. I have to put my lizards up on the screen. There's somebody very special here that I don't say hi by their channel name. I just put lizards up. She knows who she is. And I'll see her in July. So, hope everyone had a great weekend. Ours was interesting, I guess. Yesterday, Daryl and his buddy Stedhomer, a.k.a. Harold, worked on our travel trailer, found out all 4 wheel bearings need replaced.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't go to Arkansas without that being done. So that was an added expense that we weren't expecting. But other than that, you know, life in the 2019, who knows? So anyway, hey, Brown Coat, long time no see. Heaven's Gate. Ambi, how are you? Yeah, got to get her done, Karen. You got that right. Yeah, got to have some place to sleep while there and somewhere to stuff Smudge. This is his maiden voyage. I mean, he's been in the truck, he's traveled, but not this long of a distance or camping. So this is going to be Smudge's maiden voyage. Is going to be very interesting, to say the least. And tomorrow, he's going to be groomed for the very first time by a professional groomer. He hates water. Water is for drinking. I bought or someone gave me a kiddie's pool about 2-3 years ago, and I put it out in their area where they can play and run. Filled it up with water in the middle of summer. I thought it'll cool them off. They would go into it far enough for their front paws, and then they would drink the water and walk away. It was a big water dish. So I hope this lady isn't this tiny little 4-foot woman. Sorry, Brenda. That is going to think she's going to wrestle a 120-pound dog to wash. So anyway, let's get on with tonight's show. We have a great family here. They were displaced by a Mother Nature was horrible.
We only have part of the family here.
We only have part of the family. Well, we have the parents.
We only have 20%.
20%? Well, the most important part. Let's put them on the air.
All right. Say hello, folks.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Make sure your questions are in all caps so we can see them, or mods can hit us on the head and tell us. So if you don't know the Flip Flop Barnyard, I don't even remember how. I think we met because of Pratt Family Homestead.
I think so, yeah.
After you were displaced and all that stuff, we started talking.
Yep.
And there's Jen and Derek, for all of you that don't know. And they have a household. I'm trying to think of that old movie where they had all those kids, but
8 is enough.
8 is enough. There you go. It was like that was meant to be too.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah, is that where you saw him, Stringfield? I'm pretty sure that's where I thought about it. So make sure your questions are in all caps. And Daryl, go ahead with what questions you have.
With what questions I have?
Well, yeah, you're the one who usually. I interact here and you interact there. I'm done with my interacting.
Well, my biggest question is, have things finally settled down for you a little bit?
For the most part, yes.
They're definitely, over the past maybe month, has settled down a whole lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Everything felt like pure chaos for the longest time, but I think we finally are settling into a groove.
Yes.
Okay, so you've gotten everything out of Florida you need to get out of Florida, and you've pretty well gotten moved in and established where you're located now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, most of our stuff is still in boxes and out in the storage here, but we have everything we need to live. So
Yeah, we have a lot to go through. When you rush pack, every box is labeled miscellaneous.
yeah, it's like says random stuff.
Yeah.
Or junk. So yeah, we gotta finish all that, but
We've started, so.
North Star Prepstetter is asking, how long ago was it that you were displaced? Hurricane Michael, right?
yeah, it's been 5 months. It was from October 10th.
Is that all? Yeah, that's right. It was the month of the HOA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yep, it was the weekend before, or the week before, Wednesday before the HOA. Yeah.
Yeah, everything went to hell in a handbasket, I'll tell you. That was something fierce. Just,
It was crazy.
You know, there's probably not too many people in the chat room here this evening that's been through weather conditions like that. Right. So how much time did you actually have? I mean, I know you said in your videos it was a forced evacuation, or at least why you were supposed to be forced. And,
Go ahead. Sorry.
well, I'm just curious. I mean, was it the kind of thing where somebody actually came and knocked on your door and said, "You guys got to go," or was it the kind of thing where you just heard on the radio and for the area, or sirens going off?
Yeah, it was mostly for the area. There was mandatory right on the coast. We were a little bit inland, so it wasn't technically mandatory for us, but we made the choice to leave. Usually when a hurricane pops up in the Gulf, it's like a week in advance, and you can watch it and see which way it's going and how fast it's coming and all of that. But this one popped up on Sunday, I think it was. All of a sudden, everybody's like, oh, there's a hurricane, and it's moving really fast. And so on Monday, we were like, oh, I think we might need to evacuate. Then on Tuesday, it was like, we got to go. And he finished the camper that day because we had that camper. And so we left Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, we left.
And we went to Alabama and parked in a Walmart parking lot. And then when we woke up Wednesday morning, it was going to hit, and it was going to be almost Category 5.
Yeah.
So we were like, it was really fast-paced for what they normally would do with a hurricane. It would usually be...
a lot of our friends that were on the coast, they, by the time they realized how bad it was going to be, it was too late for them to evacuate because you have to go across bridges to get out of there. And they close the bridges once there's a sustained wind of 40 or 45, 40 miles an hour. They close the bridges and you can't get out. So they were just they were stuck. So
wow.
I think it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. my daughter and her fiance live down in Florida, and they're relatively close to the Gulf.
Well, no, they're on the other side. They're closer to the Cape.
The Cape? You
Yeah.
sure? I thought they were in the Gulf side.
I thought they were.
I don't know. They're in Florida.
They watched
What
the
do I
rockets
know?
take off.
Could be Lake Erie. I don't know. Anyway, for one of them, they were told they had to leave their house and go inland.
Yeah.
So,
They were knocking on doors at the beaches and trying to get people to leave. I mean, they couldn't force anybody to leave, but
Right.
and most people left. There were still some people that stayed, but there were a lot that
That's
on
just-
the beaches that had
I'm
left.
sure that's just something, forest fires or earthquakes, you can't fathom until it happens to you.
You can't. That's what I said. I never in my life would think that we would be walking this path and walking through that.
Yeah.
It was just, it's still surreal, mind blowing to look back and think that it's real.
And
Yes,
half of your dreams is asking, was your home destroyed?
Yeah, well, the house that we rented and the house, it had holes in the roof and the porch ripped off, and it wasn't really livable at the time. So, yeah.
There was no power for
almost 3 weeks out there. So, yeah, just crazy.
Well, you went back a couple times once it was all over to your property to get things and your animals and whatever.
Well,
That's what I thought.
Well, and that was
like three trips, I think.
that was another question I had. You had a camper and you also had a livestock trailer. Did you have two trucks? Did you each drive a vehicle? Is that how it worked, or?
We had the camper. He has a box trailer for his equipment, and then we had a utility trailer plus a livestock trailer.
Yeah.
So we had good friends here in Virginia that actually brought 2 trucks and drove down to Florida and hauled us back. And I pulled with the van. I pulled the utility trailer. One of the friends pulled the camper, and then between
The
them,
other friend pulled the stock trailer, and then I pulled the box trailer back with my equipment in it. So then my son and I made 2 more trips back.
We all made one more trip
We all
back,
made
and
one more
then
trip back, and
you
then
made
Jack and I made a 3rd trip back. So with the box trailer hauling the rest of our stuff out.
Yeah,
Wow, just surreal.
it is.
Yes, it is.
It is.
But the place that you landed in, just good fortune smiled upon you.
Yep.
Yes, we're
And-
definitely blessed.
And this was
Everything has been worked out.
this was what a school friend of yours, Jen?
It was a good friend of mine. I grew up riding horses, and so we ran 4-H together. We rode horses together when we were kids. And then now they homestead too, so they have, animals and things. So because we used to live here, and we only moved away 2.5 years ago to Florida. So
Okay, yeah, but when you say here, you weren't in this property you're in now, are you?
no, Virginia. I mean, in the area we're in, Southwest Virginia.
Okay, but
Yeah.
but it just so happened that they had some unused property.
You don't
Yeah.
come across that very often.
Yeah, how do you come across unused
Yeah.
property? It's got an extra
Yeah.
house on it. Hey, we're not using this right now. Would you like to rent it for?
Actually, she was living in this house, and she moved out so we could move in, and she moved in with her daughter and son-in-law because they were getting ready to have a baby, so she's helping them.
Okay.
And she wants to transition her life into some other, she's an artist, so she's doing some different things. So she actually was not planning to move out at all, and when she heard her story, she was like, you know what? I'll move out and you move in.
Yeah, it was just unheard of.
Incredible, simply incredible. So did you get one of those 99-year leases?
I
No,
think it's just kind of as long as we need it, and
Yeah.
kind of deal.
We're both it's kind of open-ended on both ends, so we just are 1 month at a time right now.
Well, I know in the pictures you guys have posted, it's absolutely beautiful area there.
Yes, it is very beautiful.
So-
Yeah, I watched it when they first went up, and they took videos of everything before they even moved in. It's like that was awesome.
So is this the
Yeah.
type of property that you guys are actually looking for to make your permanent place, or is this just a
Yes,
stopover?
It's very, very similar. I mean, this is really close. This is really close to the main road.
I want to be out in the middle of nowhere and not be able to see neighbors.
Right. But the property that we're on is amazing. It's beautiful. It lays well. There's a really nice creek in the bottom that runs down through holler.
Barns.
Nice barns. So it's very nice.
Yeah, like I said, the pictures are just incredible. The scenery and stuff.
Yep.
So describe the weather that you have in the immediate area that you have there. I mean, like right now, I know you're starting to get ready for gardening, so.
We're zone 7A. We have 4 seasons, so we have a really good season pretty much for everything. And in wintertime, we get a couple of good snows. By good snows, I mean we got like a little over a foot.
Right.
So it's not anything major, you know, but it's enough to be fun and then go away and not be frustrating. So
yeah.
And then the summers don't get like blistering hot like in Florida, obviously. So.
But like this time of year, the temperature, there's a huge range what you're going to get, because today it's been like almost 70 for the past couple of days, but then it might drop down and be in the 40s for 3 or 4 days in a row, you know, down in the 20s at night sometimes. This time of year, you're just not sure what you're going to get.
So, but I know that you've started you've started plants.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I have proof you guys built a little greenhouse.
Yeah.
Yes. Jenna has gone crazy starting seeds. I mean, like 230 tomato seeds.
Yeah, something like that.
And then she ordered some more. And
I keep saying I'm done ordering seeds, and then I go and order more because I remember what I should have gotten.
I feel ya. I know the addiction.
I think I don't think you have enough raised beds.
No, we haven't talked about that.
We've already discussed, like, okay, we're going to plant this many tomatoes. So we've got to figure out how many of each we're going to do, and the rest we're either some we'll give away, and then we might try to sell some. We're not sure. Yeah.
Probably should, with as much as I've spent on seeds this year. I need to sell some of those plants.
Yes.
Gemini Homestead is asking, is this where you want to plant your roots, or are you still looking?
Probably in this area.
Yeah.
The county we're in is actually the county that I was born in. So I have really fond memories growing up in this county, and so
we definitely love our Blue Ridge Mountains.
Yes,
area.
we do.
Absolutely.
You know, we love the climate, the mountains. It's the 4 seasons. It's where it's home to us.
Great. So, what are your plans here for this summer? I mean, are you going? Well, I mean, obviously you're carrying on here. You're putting a garden in, but this is not your property. So,
Right.
So is this something? I mean, do you have some sort of a timeline in mind that, let's say, by next year this time you want to have maybe found your own place, or are you actively going out looking, or just whatever pops up will pop up, or?
We're kind of waiting for whatever happens to happen, because since Derek's self-employed, getting a loan right now is not really an option. You know, you have to have so many years of income proof and all kinds of stuff, and so it's just it makes it difficult to get a loan. So if we could find like an owner finance type deal or rent to own, that would be ideal for us. So we don't really have a specific timeline, and we really hope within a year we can do something permanent. And so like with the garden beds we built, it was scrap lumber that was already here, so it was free. The compost, this barn was full of compost, so it was free. So we're trying to do what we can while we're here, but we don't want to invest, you know, monetarily too much into it. But at the same time, since our friend that we're renting from has been so kind and generous to us, we also want to take good care and do what we can for her to fix up here as well. So.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Trying to find the balance there.
Yeah. So we have the garden in. We're going to do the garden here, and then we have our milk cow is due with her first calf anytime, any day. So we'll be having the calf, and then we're going to get pigs.
Probably a couple weeks.
Yeah, we picked up more chickens yesterday, so we just pretty much have everything going on. Just kind of going to carry on like it's, you know, that's where we're going to be, and then
we've learned that you have to do what you can where you are, and just kind of roll with the punches.
Yeah.
You know, you have to live each day as it comes.
Yeah.
So,
Built on the Rock Homestead is asking, why did you originally move to Florida?
we have family there. My younger brother and sister-in-law are there, and then my parents were living here in Virginia, and they really, they were traveling back and forth, and they really prefer it there, so we kind of all just decided to move, and then my parents moved shortly after us. And actually, they live across from the bay, and their house took on several feet of water, and they've had to completely gut their bottom floor and redo it. So, so we had family there, and we actually lived in Florida for 1 year, a few years, about 8 years ago now.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
And we didn't like it.
Yeah.
And we wanted to move back home, so we came back home. But then it's the heartstrings of family being there and all that, so we moved back, and we didn't like it again. So,
yes, this is home.
This is home, guys.
So you're out of Florida for good now?
Yes, we have no plans of moving back to Florida. So everything we did was so difficult there. It just fought us. I mean, we would plant corn, and all these seeds we planted, and like 10% of them would come up, and we were like, what in the world? So we would start digging for the corn seeds, and all the seeds we would plant, we would find them, and the fire ants had gone into the ground and eaten the seed, the inside of the seeds. So we had to start planting everything besides the green beans in pots, and starting at even corn in pots, and then transplanting it.
Wow.
Because after it germinated, the fire ants wouldn't eat it. And it seems like nobody else there has these problems besides us.
We just know it.
I don't know.
Well, I had never. I mean, I knew that there's a fire ant issue in Florida, and way down south there's a fire ant issue, but I had no idea that they actually went and ate ungerminated seeds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And when we would have to put them on a table and hope that the fire ants didn't find them.
Yeah, they
would find several of the cups and still eat some of the seeds out of the cup.
They were vicious.
They built nests in the peat pots. I'm like, it's crazy. I don't even know. They were vicious where we were.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So you're now back in the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And so I guess my question is, how about the kids? Are they homeschooled? Or you have a pretty wide range in kids. I mean, if you'd share that with us, from how young to how old?
Jack is our oldest. He'll be 16 in May, and then Hope is the youngest, and she is 20 months. So, we homeschool. We've pretty much homeschooled since the get-go. Our oldest two were in our church school for about a year and a half when they were younger. But we both were homeschooled, so it's kind of just a natural thing for us to homeschool our kids. So.
Well, I know that in a lot of your videos, we see the kids helping. I mean, they just do a fantastic job around your place there, and it's a family affair type thing. And it's really neat to watch.
Thank you. It's really important to us to just instill skills in our kids and just help cultivate the love for doing things for yourself is really big for us and the kids.
So are you going to, because you're going to be relatively close, are you going to be at the Homesteaders of America conference this year?
Yes, that is the plan at this point. We definitely are planning on going.
Okay. And I understand that you've also written some ebooks.
Mm-hmm.
So some different things. You have a website.
Yeah.
And I'm sure our mods can put that out there. So some of the different ways that you do raise some money, you have some ebooks. You have. Is there other things that you make and sell, or?
As of right now, it's just the blog. I do blog posts, and we have the one ebook out, and then we do our videos. But eventually, our goal is to actually farm full time and do grass-fed and pastured meats for market. So that's kind of our goal as far as online and everything. I don't have anything else I'm selling right now.
Then, of course, I do landscaping, so full time for myself.
Well, and I know that she mentioned that you were self-employed, and I was going to head down that path here and ask you just exactly what it was. Oh, that's fine. Ask you exactly what it is you do, and if you have a business name, I'm not sure you call it Flip Flop Barnyard Landscaping, but
it's very creative. It's Derek Dooley LLC.
Oh, okay.
No, it's that's what my business is. But I do landscaping. Tree work, brush removal. I do small engine repair.
Some remodel.
Some remodel stuff. I have quite a broad skill set, so if some things slow down, I can fall back on other things. So I stay pretty busy.
And you've been doing this for quite a while now, haven't you?
From the time I've mowed grass on the side since I was like,
before I met you.
Yeah. I mean, I started mowing grass when I was probably 11 or 12 years old for people, and then I've just always done it, worked full-time and mowed grass on the side. And then just in Florida, I decided I wanted to do it full-time.
We moved to Florida. He was doing finished carpentry with a construction company, a small company. But
Right, a private-owned company, and it just...
make more money. Right?
I could make so much more money mowing grass, and more people were wanting their grass. So I was getting more customers, so I went full-time mowing grass, and we went from 7 yards to 70 yards in 3 months.
Wow.
So just word of mouth. So we were blessed there, and then overnight it was gone. So it was kind of crazy, but we're slowly rebuilding here, and I think, in the spring things will pick back up pretty quick.
So the area that you live in, how close are your neighbors?
We're out in the country, but there's a lot of neighbors right here.
Yeah.
So right where our house is, we can see all around us, all the neighbors.
Yeah, the neighbors.
But how many acres how much land is between us and each neighbor, though?
The closest neighbor is probably 60 yards from our house. Yeah, probably about 60 or 70 yards. That's on the same side of the road. Then across the road, maybe 100 yards, and then it just kind of spreads out from there. This property that we're on was originally a huge, I think, several hundred-acre farm, dairy farm, and then over the years they would sell off pieces and portions of it, and that's how there's so many houses up close on the road. I guess they would need money and sell off a portion on the road, and that's why all the houses are so close on this particular property. So
on your property, do you have water? Is there a creek or anything runs through it, or is there? Okay, and you have a well. Is it cistern water that you use, or?
It's a well. It's a well. The creek is down in the holler, and the house sits up on the ridge, so we have a well up here that feeds the house. And there's yard hydrants all out by the barn and stuff, but we have the creek. The cows can get down to the creek, or the animals, and get water there. So that works out well.
It sounds like a really nice piece of property.
It's
beautiful. It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful.
Well, maybe you can talk your friend into just selling it to you.
It's too close to the main road for us. That's the only thing. We can hear the main road, and
we're close enough to hear the interstate when we're outside. So it is very nice property, but it's just not our dream. So we're still praying about it, and see what God has for us. But
sure.
We're just pretty much open to whatever God has.
So what is your favorite thing to plant?
Tomatoes and peppers.
Tomatoes and peppers.
Yeah. I love growing tomatoes and peppers.
Okay, and I'm not going to ask you how many. We'll ask you that later.
Yes.
Too many. Yeah. But not enough all at the same time.
Daryl, you want to go ahead and do the first trivia?
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. Let me get it brought over here.
Well, hi folks, it's trivia time again, and we have to have some rules for this, so they are as follows. Number 1, you can only win once every 4 weeks. Number 2, you must be the first person to answer the question correctly in the chat window as it appears embedded on the screen here. Your chat window may have a different order. And number 3, you have to send an email to twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. Send us your mailing address so we know where to send your winnings. Good luck.
Okay, for those of you that are here for the first time,
I don't think they ever saw a talking dog before.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of remind you here that we will ask you a trivia question. You must answer in the chat. And the official order chat is what you see embedded in the screen in front of you. It is not what's on your computer. Everybody's computer is different, and everybody's order of chat can be slightly different. So this is the official order. If you are the first person, then you must send us an email. We ask you to do that promptly. Send us your address or other email, and we will get you your prize. Now tonight we have a real special thing. Our guests are going to give away one of their ebooks, or maybe one for each one here. So just send us an email to the winner here, and we will hook you up with that ebook. And it is called, would you give me the title of it and what it's about?
It's Pasture Raising Livestock. So I wrote a book about just an overview of the chickens and pork and beef, raising your own pastured and livestock. So,
Kind of an intro and getting started.
yeah, like what you need for infrastructure and how to rotate pasture and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. So there you go, folks. That's the prize, and the question is, if everybody's ready, how many tomato and paper varieties have we started?
If anybody watched our video today, they might know.
You said tomato. Bandana.
Bandana
Good
Grandma.
Lord.
Yay! Good job for you, Grandma.
All right. Bandana Grandma.
Well, I added more since then, but as far as everybody knows online, that's how many it is. I think I'm up to 25 tomatoes and 15 peppers now, but when I recorded my video, that's what I was.
Okay. So we got it back on the screen. I've added the phone number. We'll open up the phone line if anybody would like to call in and say hello to them themselves, ask them any questions. Phone line is open. We can take one caller at a time, and it's your nickel. We're not paying for the phone. You are. So there we go.
I did see somebody had asked if we butcher our own beef, and I wanted to answer that because we actually just
Do you
did
still have
butcher
music
our
going?
own beef.
It's too loud.
No,
Okay. Did you have music going?
there was music going during the.
Well, it's too loud.
Okay.
I just saw a few comments.
All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jen. Go back. Well, we have a phone call.
Okay.
This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Hey, Daryl, it's Steven.
Hi, Stephen. I'm pretty sure they can hear you. I'm looking for them to acknowledge that. Yep,
Yep,
they can hear you.
okay.
Hi, Stephen.
Yeah, you go right ahead, Stephen.
Hi. Well, I've been enjoying some of your more recent videos, catching up on them, and I loved the video on the new truck that he just got, and hope he's going to be doing some videos on its restoration.
Yes, he's excited about it. Today we actually put the crank and the pistons, the heads, lifters, rocker arms,
Worked all day.
push rods back in it. So he's excited.
Yeah, I was watching the video and seeing his excitement. It's like your first new truck.
Yep.
If he's
And-
been
and
saving
he-
his money for a long time.
Yeah, he paid for it all on his own and with money he's earned working for me. So he is very excited.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I look forward to meeting you all at the HOA, and this will be my second year, so it should be a fun event again.
Yeah,
All right, we'll be looking
absolutely.
for you.
Absolutely.
We're excited.
Make sure you
All
find
right,
it.
well, thanks for which should be more fun of a night and lots of great info. Everyone have a great and blessed night.
Thank you, Stephen. You too,
You
dear.
too.
Night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Nice, Stephen. Thanks for calling.
Night, Daryl.
Okay. So now that everybody sees how it works, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
That was easy.
we met Stephen for the first time in October at the HOA. He is Brown Coat Homestead. If those of
Okay.
you that don't know his real name, that's what it shows up on here. He's one of our moderators. And he made me, and I think it's over there, but I'm not quite sure, this beautiful hand-done stitching of smudge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
what we used to use for the logo, Smudge's head. It was beautiful. Yeah, it was really cool.
Very cool.
He's a good kid.
Very cool.
Well, Stivers Homestead, the only debating you should have about the HOA is how many day trip you're going to turn it into. Because you need to be there for 2 days even to begin to see it all.
Jenna, I just found out that your mom and daddy are watching from Florida.
Yeah.
Hi, Dad.
Hey.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Right.
If you have any hints or tips, you can type them in the chat.
That's funny.
So do you do some preserving, some canning, dehydrating, all of the above?
All of the above, yeah. We've done pressure canning and water bath canning, and we have a small dehydrator, so we've done dehydrating.
Yeah.
We've cured some of our own meat. So
We did. What was probably from the last beef we butchered.
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That was good.
It turned out really good.
We done bacon, and
Yes.
so yeah, we
Boy, they-
try to
delicious bacon.
we try to raise as much of our own food as we can and preserve it. So
Do you all do some foraging as well?
yeah, we like to forage berries. We used to do a lot before, and then I've been getting more into herbs. So I've been like going out and identifying everything growing all of the weeds, and I'm like, oh, I need that.
Yep.
Telling the kids what they're for. So yeah, we like to.
And how about some hunting? Do you bring meat in the home that way too?
Yeah, we took 2 deer off of the property this year, so that was a blessing.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm not the biggest fan of deer meat, if I'm honest with everybody, but
Yeah. But she
I'll eat it.
liked the deer burger that we made.
Yeah.
We had butchered a pig right about the time during deer season, so we had pork fat. So when I made the burger, I put pork fat in it,
it
and
tasted good.
she liked it. Just the whole idea of it being deer meat,
Yeah.
I guess.
It wasn't gamey.
But it was delicious.
Great.
North Star Prepstetter's asking, what do you do with the peppers?
We preserve them. We'll eat some fresh. I freeze like sweet peppers and bell peppers, and then we like pickle banana peppers and jalapenos, and
Pepperoni
then
and things, yeah.
and pepperoncinis. And then we just have a whole bunch of different varieties that we're trying to see if we like them. I'm not really
We're
sure
gonna
what
do
it is. We're going to
salsa this
do
year,
salsa and chili powder and all kinds of stuff. I didn't used to like peppers. I hated peppers until I started growing them, and then after I started growing them, I loved them. So maybe I just thought I hated them.
Probably.
Okay, Grandma's So Happy Homestead is asking, what are your favorite things to make out of tomatoes?
Spaghetti or pizza sauce is usually what we use the tomatoes for, or just fresh eating. I like them fresh the best. But
I like them at breakfast with eggs and bacon or sausage. Just a big old slice of tomato on the plate, some salt on it.
our kids,
Delicious.
Just a
some of
big
our
old
kids go
slice of
out and they'll
tomato.
take a tomato and stick a straw in it and suck the tomato out of the straw.
Daryl's version of tomatoes are tomato soup and ketchup.
So there you
Okay.
go. My mom doesn't like tomatoes, so she does tomato soup and ketchup though.
How about fruit trees? Do you have any of those on the property?
Yeah. There are no fruit trees here.
There's some
And-
berries.
There's berries. There's some elderberry
Yeah, which you don't
bushes.
eat elderberry.
Yeah, you don't eat them.
for medicine.
But as far as fruit trees, I think she had planted some down at the bottom by the creek, but the deer ate them off.
Yeah.
And by her, I mean the landlord. But I'm thinking, they take so long to mature and start producing. We'll probably wait till we have our own homestead before we plant.
Oh, yeah, and that makes sense.
The first thing we want to do is put fruit trees in when we do get our forever place. So
Deborah E. is asking, do any of your children want to homestead?
yes.
Yes.
They all say that they all want to at this point. They love it, and so as of right now, they do. Yeah.
Well, I see that. We have some off-gridders in the chat.
Yes, we do.
Right.
Say good evening to Doug and Stacy. Thank you for stopping in.
Thank you, Stacy.
Hi, Doug and Stacy.
Always good to see you.
Yeah, we get to see him in, Arkansas in May.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, Missouri, Mansfield, Missouri. I don't know.
Mansfield,
In Arkansas.
yeah,
Baker Creek.
Baker Creek,
Spring
yeah.
Festival. And then we'll see them again in Hannibal, Missouri at their own life conference.
All right. So what are your big plans for the rest of the year? Do you have a major goal that you want to accomplish this year?
I think just growing the garden being really successful, because it's been a few years since we had a really great garden, and preserving as much as we can with that. So, and then also with our cow, having her calf, hopefully she'll produce a lot of milk. We don't know how much she's going to produce at this point because it's her first calf. And if she does a lot, it's just, really playing around with milk and making some cheese and some different things like that. It's kind of the goal.
Okay, neat.
Yeah.
So have you ever considered doing some of the alternative power sources and things? Now, I realize that you are this is not your permanent homestead, but a lot of times this is a good time to start picking up and learning some things too. So,
yeah, we're very interested in going off grid.
We are.
Kind of one of our long-term goals is to be pretty much self-sufficient off grid.
Yep.
well, I think you guys have got the tiny home living nailed.
Yeah. We lived in the camper, which is 20 feet long for
It was just shy of a month.
And then, but that makes you appreciate the 800 square foot single one that we're in right now. This place is huge compared to the camper.
Yeah.
So.
I kind of have a dream of a big, huge farmhouse, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, we definitely learned that we can function in a small space. So, yeah.
Well, and you probably don't have to worry about heat so much in a small space with that many people.
No,
I mean, you say that, but it really does make a difference. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Mary Beth Smith is asking, are you planning on more children?
We don't know. We're kind of taking a break at the moment, and we don't know if we'll have any more. We don't know. We'll see.
Not sure yet.
Okay. Just looking back through the chat here. For curiosity's sake, and I really don't know, but you actually started your homesteading journey in Virginia, went to Florida, and have now come back to Virginia. And so you've actually been doing this for what period of time? For how long?
About 8 years.
About 8 years.
Yeah, right is the 2011 into 2012 is kind of when we started getting the homesteading thing going.
Okay.
This is the third time kind of starting over again.
Yeah.
Or moving, and just taking what we could with us and then doing the gardening and everything, starting over from scratch as far as all that goes.
So hopefully you're looking for just one more move.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Great.
J Love Adventures asking, how many bedrooms do you have?
3.
3. Yep.
Yeah, we have 4 boys and 4 girls. So we have the boys in one room, girls in the other, and there's a Jack and Jill bathroom for them, and we have 2 bunk beds in each room.
The city said where they're living at now, they are renting, so they're still looking for their homestead.
Yeah.
If that's what you meant by that.
Well, I think they're also wanting to know what the weather currently is where they're at right now.
Well, Flip Flop weather. Okay, I see that. I'm sorry.
That's the weather, yeah.
It's probably like 45 out right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's been up to almost 70 this weekend. And I think it's supposed to cool down a little for the middle of the week, and then it's going to be warm again going into the weekend. So it's just kind of random. But
it fluctuates right now, like I said, maybe in the 70s some days, and then low 70s, and then low to mid 40s some days, and some nights down to the 20s. So this time of year, it's just quite a fluctuation in the temperatures.
When we were kids, we had a blizzard in end of March too. So it's just like not really a blizzard, it was a blizzard for us.
Okay, and you have some chicken now. Are they all egg layers, or are they a mixture of meat and egg layers?
Right now, egg layers. We have 2 roosters and We don't even know how many chickens. We
Yeah,
had
we just got
16
more
yesterday,
yesterday.
and we probably have 20 hens
Yeah.
already.
So probably have like 36 hens and 2 roosters.
So we do meat birds, and we're going to be getting probably about 100 soon. We haven't ordered yet, but we're going to, we have some friends that are talking about ordering some, so we're going to get some meat birds.
100, did you say?
Yeah.
Yes.
We have to cook 3 at a time.
This couple does nothing in a small way, do
Well,
they?
they have
We-
8 children.
we
Hello.
We butchered a 400-pound pig in November. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was after the hurricane. And we have eaten every last bit of it. It's been over a month since we ate our last pound of sausage.
Yeah, they don't have a small family.
We had a small steer we butchered when he's gone, and then we had a second steer we butchered about a month ago. But
Yeah.
I don't know, we've gone through a lot of that too.
Wow.
We haven't quite yet been able to get where we have beef, pork, and chicken in the freezer at the same time. It's always just either have beef or we have chicken or we have pork. And so there's not really a lot of variety there.
Yeah, we kind of get sick of the one and time for the next. Kind of like,
I can understand
this
that.
out, we
Yeah.
can have it all at one time.
Well, and don't forget the wild game there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Well, that's gone a long time ago.
yeah, that lasted.
Do you want to permanently settle in Virginia?
Yeah, at this
Yeah.
point, that's what we're planning. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're both from Virginia, so.
Nobody has said anything in the chat about it, so that makes me a little bit more curious because it seems to be a hot topic right now. Do you keep any bees? Are you a beekeeper?
We were in Florida.
Yeah, in Florida we were.
We got
And,
our first hive last spring.
last spring we got our first hive. After the hurricane, I called a good friend of mine.
The hive was fine. It was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hurricane, so that was
Yeah, it
great.
was sitting on cinder blocks with a cinder block on top of it. Now, how it sat there, I have no idea.
Isn't it funny how that
I mean, it
works
blew
around
the
it?
tongue of my horse trailer like 6 feet around, but it didn't blow the beehive over. So, but we gave them to a friend of ours who's in his 60s, and he just called me last week, and he said the hive has split twice, and he's put them in boxes, and I think it was 2 or 3 days because he stuck one in a box with a couple frames, and it took him a couple days to get a hive and take back, and they had already filled the 2 frames up
wow.
with that in like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah,
So,
they have the Tupelo in bloom right now.
yeah, so the one hive we bought has turned into 3 hives now. So
But that's something we definitely want to get back into. But
Yeah.
we're probably going to wait till we get our permanent place, just so we're not having to try to move bees and all of that.
Gemini Homestead is wondering, how many seasons can you plant in? I mean, can you plant in all 4 seasons there in Virginia?
Yeah, we can do. You know, a lot of cold weather stuff if you keep it covered.
the grow covers.
Yeah, we do row covers and do some brassicas and things during the winter. You can overwinter your carrots and everything like that if you want to. So you can really, and the grow season is pretty long for the summer, so we'll plant out in May, and then we won't get our first frost until I don't know when, like early October.
You keep up with it. It's probably October,
Yeah,
sometime
early
in
October,
October.
I think. So.
Well, another animal that you haven't talked about that seems to be kind of popular right now is goats.
Oh,
Yeah.
we had goats.
Yeah, we don't have goats anymore.
We like goats, but they're not for us. They're a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
We had them, but it worked out. We bought goats, and then we bred the goats we bought, and they had babies, and then we sold all the goats for enough money to buy our cow. So it worked out perfect. So
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Red Shed is asking, what are the age of your children?
Let's see, Jack will be 16 in May, Emma is 14, Kylie is 12, Josiah is 9, Jeremiah is 8, Lydia will be 6 in May, Jacob is 3.5, and Hope is 21.
Wow.
Yeah.
And don't ask me because I always miss somebody. A little bit
Lord.
here and there.
And then he'd be like, Emma's 12. She's like, I'm 14, Dad.
That's so cute.
Okay,
She's like, what? You're 12.
a couple questions have come through here. Somebody's asking if carrots are hard to grow, if you have an opinion on that.
I've always found them to be easy. I never, read anything about them, and I don't plant them carefully. I just, throw a handful on a bed so they all grow, they'll be twisted around each other.
Sort of
But
like
we
the
have had
girls did that
great
one year.
success with carrots. So we had friends asking me how I grew my carrots because they could never get theirs to grow, and I was like, I don't know, just threw them on the ground, and there they were.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my opinion, they're easy to grow.
And North Star Prepstetter is asking if you know, is there a change in bee activity before a big storm?
I don't know. I didn't get a chance to check them because the Monday before the storm hit, Jack and I mowed like 23 yards. Then the Tuesday that we moved, or the Tuesday that we left, from daylight, actually before daylight, I was trying to get the camper put together, and so I got it together, loaded, we hooked up and left out probably around 2 in the afternoon.
Windy, right? You were picking up. We were a little.
So I don't know. I didn't get a chance to check on those bees before we left before the storm. Okay. That is a great question. I wish I had thought to check on them, but trying to get my family out of there was kind of priority at the time, and getting the camper ready. Yeah.
Well, and go ahead and talk about the camper a little bit, because that was another huge blessing for you folks.
Yeah, that was a total godsend.
So, like a month before the storm?
3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, 3 or 4 weeks before we even knew there was a hurricane coming. So a friend of ours from church, their camper had water damage, and so they asked me to give them an estimate on it. They said they wanted to turn it into their insurance company to see if it would fix it. So I said, sure. I went and looked at it and gave them the estimate, and they called me, like a week or 2 later, maybe 2 weeks later, something like that, and said, hey, the insurance denied the claim. Do you just want to have the camper? I said, well, sure, I'll take it, and I thought, well, we'll pull it home and fix it over time. And we had a wedding to go to in Nashville, and Jen and I had talked about going camping. I said, babe, rather than buying tents and stuff, because we didn't have any camping gear, but we thought we'd go camping back in the mountains of Virginia because we missed them so bad during this after the wedding in Nashville. I said, let's just put our money into the camper and fix it rather than buying tents. So that's what we had already been, slowly fixing up the camper. I demoed it, and I don't think we'd bought anything to put in it at the time. So then, it was just like God provided the camper before we even knew there was going to be a storm, and we were fixing it because we had planned on going camping. And we had no idea we were going to that was going to be our home for almost a month. Yeah. And so it's
the table and the couch we put in because there was a sink, so we had the cabinet and the sink, and in the back there was a bed and a bathroom. And then it was just open floor. Yeah. So we put a queen-size air mattress and a twin-size air mattress. We'd blow up every night, and all the kids would pile on the air mattresses, and then we slept in the back and the cubby. So that's how
it worked out. I mean, the conventional 20-foot camper setup doesn't work for 10 people.
No, it doesn't. So, and then we bought a folding table, so then we put the mattresses away and opened the table, and
there you go.
There you go.
It worked out.
Yeah.
Do you have geese or turkeys?
We're going to get turkeys, but we don't have geese. We've never had geese.
We might want geese.
We might want geese.
You might not want geese, but I might want geese.
I just kind of go with the flow. Yeah.
But we've done turkeys in the past. We don't have any right now, but we do plan on getting
more turkeys.
Yep. We don't have any ducks either, but that's something we want to get eventually, possibly.
And guineas.
But
no peafowl.
No peacocks.
Yeah, they're too loud.
But they're pretty.
They are.
Yes, they are. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's fire up another trivia question.
Okay. Make sure the music is turned down.
Yep, we'll do that.
Well, hi, folks. It's trivia time again. And we have to have some rules for this, so they are as follows. Number 1, you can only win once every 4 weeks. Number 2, you must be the first person to answer the question correctly in the chat window as it appears embedded on the screen here. Your chat window may have a different order. And number 3, you have to send an email to twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. Send us your mailing address so we know where to send your winnings. Good luck.
Okay, and again, I'll remind you folks that the official order of chat is what you see on the screen. And that way it's that's the only way that we can do this in any type of a fair way. So if you should be the winner, you need to send us an email to twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. And tonight's second question, and you're playing for an ebook that she has written. So tonight's second question is, do we have dairy goats or a milk cow? think we have to go with Sharon.
We're going to have to go with Sharon because Bandana already won.
Good job.
Yes, congratulations.
They had goats, remember? They sold their goats, got the cow. So there we go.
All right.
Do you want the winners to contact you for the ebook or just go on to your website? How do you want it done?
They can just contact me. They
Okay.
can email. It's jenna@flipflopbarnyard.com.
Okay.
And then I'll just email them the file for the book. That
Sounds
way.
good.
And we'll make sure that you have the right names.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
JENNA.
Yep. And it's at flipflopbarnyard.com.
So how did the name of your channel come about?
I wear flip flops all the time. I used to wear them in the wintertime too, and so I used to joke and say, I'm going to start a blog and I'm going to be the flip flop farmer or something. And so when I started my blog, it just was the Flip Flop Barnyard.
Yep.
So it's funny because people who started following us when we were in Florida thought it's because we lived in Florida. And ironically enough, I rarely wore flip flops in Florida because I walked outside in flip flops. The fire ants would get on my feet and bite me, or sting me.
Yeah.
And so it originated here just because I like flip flops.
That would be Dana.
Yeah.
Dana lives in flip-flops.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I like to be barefoot, really. So if I'm wearing flip flops, then as soon as I get in the grass, I can take them off and walk barefoot.
So the YouTube channel was her idea, I take it.
Yes, it was. Yeah, the whole blog and YouTube channel was all Jenna, and she still does all the technical aspect. I have no idea how to do any of it.
You go, girl.
Yeah,
My dad's I'm not like super tech savvy, but my dad did computers. He's had a stroke in the last couple of years, but before that he worked in computers forever. So he helped me get it all going. And I started the blog and I wrote some posts, and I thought, well, like I did about how to milk a cow, and I thought, well, it would be great to have a video to go along with this. So I just decided to do the channel, and then the channel's been around since 2014, and then it wasn't until the fall of 2017, 2017, that we really started the blog style videos. We had several, how-to type videos on there.
So do you have any YouTubers that you would like to meet?
Yes, lots of them. But I'd love to meet Jess, of course, from Roots and Refuge. Well, you all, love to meet you in person.
Yep.
And Jess from Roots and Refuge is one I watch all the time. I love to meet Deb and Stacy. I love to meet Art and Bree, Justin Rose. I don't know, the Stivers. Lots of people.
Well,
all of them. The Pratt, of course, yeah.
If you're going to be able to make it to the Homesteaders of America conference
You
this
will.
year, a lot of those names that you mentioned will be there.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to do
we're
that.
definitely going. So
Yeah.
Great. We're looking forward. We're looking forward to that trip. All right. Johnson Family Homestead. Let me answer that. No, sir. Our Monday night live shows are where we interview a different channel every week, and the live stream that you may have kind of jumped in here for is the one we do on Thursday nights. That's where we do our support streams for smaller channels.
I want to say hi to the Simple Rugged Path. They're on here, and they're people that are actually real life friends, and known them for many, many years.
yes.
So I want to say hi.
Okay. All right. Anything else you got for them?
No. Nope.
Do you do any? I'm not quite sure I know the right way to ask this, but do you do any like blacksmithing or that type of work
forging too?
I don't do any forging. I do weld. So I do fabricate some things out of metal. I've got a hitch on the tractor right now that's basically, it's got a ball at the top and a trailer ball at the bottom I can use for my tag-along trailers or my gooseneck trailers. I can just back up to them and pick them up and move them wherever I need to here. Because there's not a lot of room to move. There's a lot of room to park them, but not a lot of room to jockey them around. So I made that to be able to move them around with the tractor. It's much more maneuverable than the truck.
I think getting a forge and being able to forge.
I would love to do that. Yeah, I would love to do it.
Okay.
Just
and that's
hasn't top of the list or budget yet. So
yeah, and that's something else I'm sure that you'll see quite a bit of at the HOA this year as well. And we've met some people that's their hobby. They do. So that's his hobby, JJL Ford.
Yeah, I'm definitely fascinated by it. I think it would be very fun to do. So I want to make some knives.
Do you do any hunting? As far as we established that as far as like for deer and so forth. I should have said trapping was where I was heading with this. We
have messed around a little bit with some traps here. Josiah, our 9-year-old, is fascinated with trapping. So
for his 9th birthday,
we bought him some muskrat traps, and we've set them in the creek down here, but we've just not had any success. I don't know if the creek's just too small or maybe it's too fast flowing. But
and now Jack is doing some learning to tan hides. So he's tanned the deer hides and some of the steer hides we have. So the boys are really interested in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, trapping is something we're definitely going to get more into next year, I think. This year it was just kind of chaotic, everything was just spinning circles, and we kind of landed here and just didn't have time coming out the tail end of trapping season, I guess.
North Star Prep Center has asked, did you both grow up on farms learning these skills, or is this something that has come to you later in life and YouTube school and what have you?
I grew up on 4 acres, surrounded by national forest. I had friends that had farms, and I grew up helping them farm, but I never had farm animals growing up.
Yeah, y'all helped raise pigs.
But we raised pigs some as a kid a few times. But I was
you gardened?
I gardened, yeah, I did garden, but I just grew up running the woods, And so
I grew up in the middle of 25 acres, and we had horses. So I grew up in a barn riding horses, and so I knew a lot about livestock, but we didn't have any other kind of farm animals, and we didn't garden or anything like that. So we've learned as far as what we're doing, we learned a lot just through experimenting in YouTube and blogs, and trial and error.
Yep.
And error.
Error, yeah.
And of course attending that YouTube University.
Yes, absolutely. YouTube is a great resource.
Yes.
And some real life friends that have experience. That's been a big help too.
Yeah, I've got a pretty much lifelong farmer friend of mine that I hit him up. He's in his 60s?
Yeah.
I think he's about 60. How old?
No, 60,
anyway,
no, 63.
He's in his 60s. He's a very good friend, and he's farmed his entire life, so he's my go-to usually. And then Jenna's friend Tanya, she's our go-to for animal questions. So.
Sherry, you got anything else?
No, I don't.
I'm not quite sure where to go with you folks. It's just such a fascinating evening here tonight.
I think somebody had asked earlier if we butchered our own beef, and I don't know if we answered that. Did we answer that?
I don't think you did.
Okay, yeah. We actually have, just this year, since we moved, he's butchered
We've done 2 of them, yeah. And
we had one small steer that was given to us in Florida by the neighbor across the road, and it was just genetically poor. It wasn't grow. He didn't grow. He just he was tiny he was almost 2 and he was little. So we went ahead and butchered him, and
we had one that we butchered, and it was much easier than I thought. I mean, if you've processed deer and pigs, then it was cool enough here to let the beef hang. So I just said, I'm going to go for it. And of course, having the tractor made it much easier to maneuver the pieces around, but it was awesome. It's very rewarding to process your own beef.
We've done our own pork for 5 years now, and chicken, so turkey.
So how do the kids like the farm chores, if you would? I mean, are they eager to do it, or is that something they're kind of tired of and they kind of stay withdrawn? Or
they usually are really eager. In fact, sometimes they fight over who's going to go get eggs.
Yeah, and each kid has their own thing that they really like the most, So
So we try to find what they really enjoy and what they're passionate and excited about, and let them go with that. And I mean, nobody wants to clean the chicken coop, but that's just a chore that has to be done, and just you pitch in and do it. But as far as the daily things with collecting eggs and watering and feeding, and with the garden, they're all excited. They all want their own section of the garden bed. So it's really, for the most part, they really pretty much stay excited about everything. We try really hard to make sure that they're enjoying this. We don't ever want this to be a burdensome life for them.
Yeah.
Well, I know with the videos that I have seen where you've included them, I mean, they're always right there. They're always seem to be eager to help.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yep. Now, house chores and washing dishes is a different story. They flip a coin to see who has to do dishes, but
yeah, and the one who did them the night before gets to flip the coin.
Yeah, the very oldest do the dishes.
Yeah.
We have a dishwasher, so it's not like they have that much to do.
Yeah.
But as far as they love being outside, it'll be 20 degrees out, and they're like, "Can we go out and play?" I'm like, "You're gonna freeze," but they love it.
Do y'all heat with wood, or do you have a?
Not here. It's gas.
It's gas.
And some infrared heaters to help with that. But we had wood stove in the past. We enjoy that.
That's something we want.
Yeah.
When we have our own homestead is to have a wood stove, because I enjoy cutting wood. I love splitting wood.
I like playing with fire.
Yeah. Jenna sits in front of the wood stove with the door open, just poking it. So
he'll come in, I'll be like, she's like, "What are you burning?" I'm like, "The junk mail." He's like, "Don't burn that in the house."
Just bills.
Yeah. Who needs that?
Yeah.
Double P Farm is asking, do you have meat rabbits?
We did in Florida, but it was our first batch of rabbits.
We think the buck was a dud.
Yeah, we think the buck was a dud.
Yeah, 2 does and a buck, and they appeared to be breeding constantly, but there were never any baby bunnies. So we ended up selling them, or trading them for pigs.
Yep.
Well, next, I think I saw a question fly by earlier about quail, too.
No, we don't have quail. That is something that I'm intrigued by.
Yeah.
Definitely interested in. So we don't have. We had wild quail in Florida. There were a lot of wild quail, so we would actually call them out.
Yeah, she didn't believe me when I told her that I could call a quail in by whistling. And
you can't call a quail.
I videoed, and it came right up into the yard, like 5 yards from the porch, and I was sitting on the porch.
Video and the phone, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" So then I was determined to learn, and I did, and I was there all the time calling quail.
It was funny. But we're not set up for quail, but we might get some at some point.
We have a lot of aspirations, and we'd like to at least try.
Can you imagine quail? How many they'd have to have?
That was
for their family.
That was running through my head here. I mean, if
they wouldn't get lunch until 12 because they'd be cracking eggs to make.
Quail might be a retirement plan, an empty nest plan.
There you go. There you go.
Now that you mention that, I'm thinking chickens don't even make sense. We should just do turkey.
Yeah,
I was thinking maybe an ostrich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the newest thing? Everyone wants an emu, I think, is what the newest thing is. Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. I like the more traditional farm animals, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Princess Faith, you need an ostrich egg for big families, I guess.
Yeah.
We usually cook a dozen eggs at a time.
I'm allergic
there's
to
no
eggs,
doubt.
So.
Do what?
There's no doubt. You can go through a dozen eggs.
Right.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
And it's an increase.
Yeah, we've got 4 boys and only one is a teenager so far. So. I think girls eat as much as the boys, so everybody else the boys eat a lot, but the girls, they all eat a lot.
Well, I see Built on the Rock Homestead has indicated in here they feel that 3 chicken eggs equals 1 goose egg. So
Maybe we should do geese.
Yep, I need some geese.
We could do 4 goose eggs.
Well, there you go.
But I think an emu egg probably has them beat.
Yeah.
What
What did you do before homesteading?
What did we do before homesteading? You mowed grass.
I mowed grass. So just
And we've always lived out in the country. We've never really lived in neighborhoods. But he mowed grass on the side, and I've mostly been home with the kids. I actually did makeup for a while, which is completely
she was a
now.
makeup artist.
I was a makeup artist at one point, but and I've waited tables several times in my life. But other than that, I've mostly been a stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm. And I've just worked full time and mowed grass on the side and did church and
Yep.
so.
Not a lot of hobbies. We were kind of boring.
Yeah, we were boring before homesteading. We might be boring still.
Yeah, we might be.
Well, no, I think you guys are a far cry from boring.
I think you've graduated.
That's
awesome.
I don't know how you find time to do the things you've done.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Everybody always asks me, how do you do everything you do? And it's like, I don't really know. There is no balance. And it's kind of the consensus among, people that have a lot of kids and are trying to do all of the things. And it's just doing what you can. You never can do everything in one day. So it's like we might focus one day on just a few tasks. And that's the main thing. It's just, like I have the blog and the YouTube channel, and we went a month without doing any videos, but I put out like 3 blog posts. So it's like I have to focus, and now I haven't done any blog posts in a while, but we put a lot of videos out. So what I do is just focusing on one thing at a time and letting go of trying to control anything. There is no control over it. It's just going to be what it's going to be. It's organized chaos. And trying to, for us, our priority in life is our children, and raising them to, to have a good, solid foundation, and to enjoy life and to pursue their dreams and their passions in life. And so that's kind of what our family's all about, is just,
Well, are you guys open to doing collaboration type videos with anybody? If you are, if you've got some ideas, you got a whole room full of people here that are just enthralled with you. So throw a couple ideas out there, and I'm sure that somebody will get a hold of you.
Okay. Yeah, I have to think of some. I'm not very creative. We have done a few. We did with the Pratt's last year. We did several different channels that homeschool did Valentine's cards, because the kids did Valentine's cards and exchange them for videos and stuff like that. So we'll have to figure out.
Yeah, what is a good collab idea?
I'm terrible at on the spot creativity. It's like.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, what?
I know.
Somebody give us an idea for a collaboration.
Okay, well, and as far as social media, you can be found on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
Instagram. Do you do any Pinterest too, or no?
Yeah, I'm on Pinterest. So, and I pin all of my blog articles on there. So, I'm on Pinterest, Instagram. I'm technically on Twitter, but I don't tweet. I don't really. I haven't put time into that out.
So you don't converse back and forth with the president?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't tweet with the real Donald J. Trump. I should try.
Yeah.
Well, you never know.
You never know. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, would you like to visit my homestead? I have 8 kids.
And so if you see these black shiny cars pulling up your driveway,
Yes.
We used to have a black big Ford van. Now we have a different transit, and everybody laughed because we would pull up and they'd be like, "The feds are here!" It was like a 12-passenger black van.
Yeah.
And then we lived in Florida, like I said, for a short time years ago. And when we went to church, people started laughing, and we're like, "What are you laughing at?" And they said that there was talk going around, it's a small town, talk going around that was a black creeper van driving through the neighborhoods. And we were like, that's not a creeper van. So anyway,
and Heaven Gates Cherry Farm is asking if you have a PayPal account, if you would share that.
We do actually have a PayPal account, and it's my email address, but not the one I gave you. It's Jenna, Jenna, R, just the initial R, Dooley, Dooley, @ AOL.com. And yes, I'm still on AOL.
Yeah, I didn't know that was something funny until somebody asked me.
I know. Somebody laughed at me one time. Like, is AOL still a thing? I was like, just me.
You're holding it down, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
We're keeping it cool.
Okay.
AOL.
Yeah, she's getting those links in the channel there for you.
Thank you. Thank you all so
Yes,
much.
thank you.
Appreciate that.
So, how about you folks out there that are listening? I mean, in a way, they're very quiet. In a way, I think they just don't know what to make of this.
Are we that fascinating?
I don't know. Or that boring. I don't know. What are the other?
Well, you now brought up AOL, and I see Stivers are saying that all of a sudden they're hearing the AOL ringtone.
That or you have mail.
You have mail.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm picturing the little dial-up guy.
Running across, yeah. Wasn't he gold or yellow or something?
Yes,
Like, yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Like, kids these days don't understand the pain of dial-up internet.
Yeah. You can tell we all started out, and you used to. I think at one point you had to pay for the discs to get started, and then they started being free.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Farming Our Backyard says, what breed of cattle do you have? Let me just inject here. I don't know that you really have cattle. You have a cow, right?
We have, we have one Dutch belted Hereford cross cow right now, or heifer. She's first time. And we have a steer that is a Jersey Angus cross for beef. We used to, before we moved to Florida, we had just started a herd of Tarentaise, American Tarentaise cows for beef, but then we sold them because we moved to Florida. But we do plan on getting back into heavier cattle farming and for grass-fed, grass-finished beef, and we really like the American Tarentaise cows.
The American Tarentaise were a great breed. You could run 3 of those on the same land. You could run 2 Angus.
Yeah.
So.
And as far as milk cows goes, like I said, she's a Dutch belted Hereford cross, and something we kind of just came across. And we're going to continue to breed her. The Tarentaise in America are a beef cow, but they come from France, and they were a milk cow, so we want to attempt to make them a milk cow in America again. Yeah. But in my heart, I've always loved a Jersey, so at some point down the road, I'll have a Jersey.
Rustic Ranch Garden, they just came in a little bit ago. What do you grow?
We grow everything. we grow, in the garden, we grow tomatoes, peppers, okra, cucumbers, corn,
squash,
watermelon, cantaloupe. What else?
Bok choy.
Greens, broccoli, cabbage.
Yep.
A lot of things. And then we raise our own meat, so pretty much we do turkeys, chickens, beef,
pigs, and
pork, yeah. And eggs. And milk cow when we have one, and chicken milk. We actually had a Jersey before we moved to Florida, too. So.
I see somebody in here. Heritage Farm Texas says we can hook you up with commercial Angus and registered Simmental Angus.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's awesome.
That is cool.
Good to know.
There you go. And they're also asking if you have bees.
Yeah, we talked about it a little ago, but we had bees in Florida, and we couldn't bring them with us, so we do plan on getting bees again at some point.
And Brown Coat is asking, have you made kimchi?
No. As far as fermenting, we've done sauerkraut. Pretty much is the extent of our fermenting at this point.
Yeah. I'm not sure what kimchi is. I've heard of it.
Well, I'll show you.
Okay. Okay.
So, but like conviction and stuff like that, we haven't done any. We plan to, but we just haven't gotten into it.
The Busy Little House is asking, what's your favorite way to preserve?
Probably canning. I really enjoy canning, so that's my favorite thing to do. Dehydrate too. And we freeze and stuff, so I do a lot of different things. But I think canning is an easy way to get a lot of food, put away at one time.
Exactly. Yeah. Princess Face 3 is saying that, telling you that she made your pot pie, and everyone loved it. Wants more.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We haven't had that in a while.
Yeah. Not a long time.
It is when somebody says I did this and it turned out great and they want more.
And Stivers. I think she's talking Jen Stivers there. Is that right?
Zach, I don't know if that's Zach or Jen typing, but my favorite, I like anything pickled. When I first started canning, I made green beans. What was it? 5 years ago, we had a birthday party for me, and I must have brought out 6, 7, 8 pints of pickled green beans.
Yeah.
And they were gone. Just even the little kids.
Have you done pickled okra?
I don't like okra.
Well, it's really good, man. Sorry.
No, okra reminds me of eating my mother's vegetable soup and seeing those little wagon wheels and floating. No. I was traumatized for life.
Yeah.
That's about the only vegetable I won't eat.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because I love vegetables and fruits. And knock on wood, I was lucky. All my kids were vegetable and fruit eaters, so I never had. And my youngest loves okra.
That's good. I always loved okra. I think all our kids pretty much like it, which I think is a weird thing for kids to like because it's slimy.
Yeah, I think that's why I didn't like it in the soup. It's just,
Yeah.
I just assumed I only liked fried okra because it was fried, and I wouldn't try any other kind of okra. And then I tried pickled okra and then like sauteed okra, and I was like, well, apparently I like all okra.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My youngest loves fried okra.
Yeah.
The Busy Little House is asking your favorite all-around meal.
What does everybody like? It's hard to find something that everybody likes. I mean, obviously they all like pizza.
Probably cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburgers. We do like chicken pot pie, but several kids don't like it. And we'll do chicken and dumplings, and some of them don't like that. So, I mean, they'll eat it, but they're not excited about it. Tacos. We do tacos with burritos. Yeah. You know, anything like that, everybody's excited about.
Mike, you can make me some and bring it to the Hootenanny in July. And Duncan 1900 grows okra for as a flower.
They do have really pretty flowers.
Yeah, pretty.
Oh, well, I could do that.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything that you'd like to share with everybody that's out here in the room?
Can you think of anything else?
I think we've pretty much covered. I'm not very good at initiating conversation. You know,
everybody talks.
In person, I'll talk to you forever, but it's just different on camera. You know.
Yeah.
Sure it is.
But
he talks to everybody when we're out. I'm super introverted, and I'm just like, okay, I don't know, make eye contact, I'm gonna get in, get out, and he gets out to pump gas, and he's best friends with the guy who makes pumps, and we're like, the gas finished pumping like 10 minutes ago. Let's go. And he's out there, you know, they're changing life stories. And
can't help it.
the kids are like, Mom, Dad's talking again.
Brett Broussard from Broussard Homestead has informed us that's the Southern way that folks say goodbye. You start now, and then possibly in a half an hour, you may be halfway out the driveway.
Yeah.
And we found this out at the gathering in Mississippi. That, you know, 10, 15 minutes after everybody said goodbye, well, we'll see you later. We still weren't in the truck to leave yet.
Yeah. Well, we definitely drag it out.
Yeah, try doing that with 8 kids to get them loaded up.
No.
Yeah. We went to a birthday party for a friend recently, and they had 7 kids, and there was another family there with 8 kids, and we were there, so there were like 3 families and 23 kids, and actually getting out the door and leaving was like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Well, let's touch just real quick on the gardens here one more time, or if you would. You're primarily going to be growing in raised beds, it appears to me, based upon some of the videos I've seen. Was that because of time restraints and everything, just getting back into this area that you're currently in and the lay of land, or is that your preferred method of gardening? Or, I mean, have you...
Yes to everything. I mean, it is my preferred method. We had great success with that here before. I don't have a big tiller or plows or discs for my tractor to, turn over
There's not an
soil.
established garden here.
Right. And then I didn't really want to be digging up land that's not mine to put a garden in. The materials were here to build the bed with. There was the compost in the barn I just scraped out to fill the beds with. There is an area we're going to plant our corn that is not in a raised bed. So it's kind of a weird little area between two concrete driveways, but the soil there between the two is really soft and it looks great. So we don't use them other than parking trailers. So we're going to till that up and put corn in there.
There's another area. There's actually a double wide on the property that belonged to somebody else. They were living in the double wide on the property and they moved out and they sold the double wide and it's getting moved this week. But they had a few garden beds in front and it's on this property. So we're gonna they took the bed material out, but the soil's still there. So we might go ahead and plant some things over there.
Yeah.
But as far as doing an in-ground garden, we didn't want to have to deal with, like you said, climbing it all up and doing all that and then amending the soil. We figured we could just put the compost straight in the raised beds and go. So.
Well, Sherry, you got anything else here, you think?
No, I sure don't.
It's been an absolutely wonderful evening.
Thank you. I enjoyed it a lot.
I enjoyed it too.
We want to not only thank our guests, we want to thank everybody in the chat. Special thank you to our moderators for being in here and helping out with the links and keeping everybody in line, all that stuff that they have to do.
Yep.
We appreciate
Is this
My PC's about ready to
is this a good night, Gracie thing?
black screen again.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
All right.
it's not going anywhere.
So, folks, thank you all so much for being here. Next week, we'll have Practical Modern Homestead as our guest.
She's in the chat.
Oh, she's in the chat?
Angela.
So, that'll be our guest next week. And, they're the ones that go out and get the seafood.
yeah.
Pick up the fresh seafood.
They sure do.
So,
Yep, she's up in Washington.
so we're going from one side of the country to the
Yes, we
other
are.
next week.
Yeah. Crazy.
I hope the camper's ready.
Are you okay?
Yeah, after.
Well, if not, I know somebody that can work on one.
Really? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we'll have to tell. Yeah. Well, it's a little bit far to have him fix your camper right now.
Yeah.
For the right price, you might do it.
All the wheels are off our camper. They're sitting there.
Yep. Those wheel bearings and races back in.
All right. So thank everybody for being here. Have a wonderful week. Tomorrow night we'll have our Tech Tuesday. And Thursday night we will do our support stream. And we will see you next Monday night with Practical Modern Homestead.
Sounds good.
Have a good evening.
Take care,
Thanks,
everybody.
folks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.